Hello and welcome back again, Power BI enthusiasts, to the Power App Tutorial channel. I want to say thank you guys for joining me on this journey. We have finally come to the end of the packing challenge. We're going to wrap it up with our filters and packing review. For those who didn't follow along, in our last video, we worked on the home page and we also added our model view. All right, but if you're new here, just make sure you hit that subscription button, add the notification bell so you can stay updated when we come up with new videos. And don't forget to smash that like button. Everybody else, let's jump right into it. All right, so I actually want to change the background image. So let's just go straight to our canvas background. And then I'm going to remove this guy. And then let's plug in another image. Let's use this guy for our image. Go ahead and fill to screen. And then go ahead and hit save. Put it aside and then let's start adding our header. So text box. Just going to select all of it and then give it 32. Let's center it. And then inside our header, we're going to be placing in a back button. And the easiest way to do that is just switch to insert. And then let's look for button back. That's the one we're looking for. Go ahead and adjust that into place. That looks good. Let's move on. Now I want to start adding our visualizations. So let's add a slicer because that's what we need for our filters page. Click on slicer to select it into your page. I want to adjust this a little. And then for our first slicer, this is going to be holding our vehicle make. So select vehicle make for it to pick it up. Let's see what it looks like. It looks okay, but I want to add one more option here. So with it selected, go ahead and switch to slicer settings. And then for selection, let's make this select all options. So toggle this on so that we can select all as an option. All right, once you're done with that, you can go ahead and hit save. And then grab this and we're going to copy and paste it. So Control C, Control V. I'm going to do that 3 more times because I need 3 more. Okay, so I'm back. I don't think you guys needed to watch me struggle with how I was placing those things. But for the second one, it's going to be, so once you select the second one, change it from make to model. So this is going to be holding our models. And then for the third visual slicer, go ahead and deselect the make. And this time around, we're going to go back to our dim date. And then we're going to be selecting the day name. And then for this final slicer, unselect the make and then put in the date. So that's going to hold the date. After that, for that same slicer, because I don't want it looking like this, let's go ahead and go to slicer settings. And where it says vertical list, change that to between. And while we're here, let's go ahead and increase the font size to about 14. All right, let's see what we're looking at. All right, starting to make a whole much more sense. I think this looks good, but I can think of some things we can do. I'm just going to do one more fix to our visuals. So pick, it doesn't matter whichever one you want to pick. You can pick the first one or the last one, but pick anyone and then let's go back to the visuals. And this time around, I'm going to go straight to general, go into effects, and then I'm going to add a visual border. So this is going to be a visual border. Let's add a width of like 3 so that it's more prominent. And then once you're done with the first one, just go ahead and pick the next one and then toggle this back on. Do the same thing for the next one. And then finally, the last one. Okay, I think this is a little bit better. I don't want to do much more modifications. You guys can take your time to do the other designs if you want to, but I think this is good for now. We're still going to come back to the filters page because we're going to connect it to the parking review. But for now, let's jump into our parking review and start building this one out. Just like the filters page, I also want to change the background too for our parking review. So go straight to canvas background. Let's remove this guy. And this time around, let's put car park overview, this one here. All right, now that it's in, let's go ahead and see which one is it, fit or fill. Fill is fine. And then let's close these visuals and then go ahead and add a text box. And I'm just gonna stretch it out just like we did with our filter screen. This is gonna be called parking review. Make this 36, center it, and then we're gonna put in our back button. So click on the button, put in the back, and adjust in place. Awesome. So with that done, let's go ahead and start adding our card. So click on visualization pane, and this is the one we're looking for right here. So once that's in, go ahead and grab the data, and the data we're looking for is going to be our percentage inspections with valet parking. So just check that. And right now it's saying 0.89. So we're gonna change that. So just make sure you click on the column itself. And then right up here where it says decibel number or whatever it says for yours, make sure you change that to percentage and then change it to 0. That will change it to 89%. Let me adjust this card. All right, so with the card like that, let's go ahead and give it an effect of a visual border. And this time around, we're going to make it 3, 2. And then after making that effect, you go ahead and copy. So Control C, Control V, drag it and drop it to the side. And for this visual, we're going to remove percentage inspection. And what we want for this one is going to be the total inspections. Awesome. That looks good. You can go ahead and hit save. Moving on to the next visual. So make sure you're clicking on the page itself. We're going to be picking our line start column chart is what we're going to be picking. And for this visual, let's go ahead and pull out in our data. Definitely going to need to open the visualization down. All right, so we're going to plot it simple and straightforward but direct. What I mean by that is this. So first of all, drag the year and drop it on the x-axis. After dragging the year, go ahead and drag the month right underneath the x-axis. And I've seen that the best way to do this is to go into the parking inspection info, go into the inspection datetime, go into the date hierarchy, and then drag the day right underneath the month. Once you're done with that, go ahead and go back to our measures. We're going to be dragging the total inspections into the column y-axis. Finally, I want you to drag the isRequested. So drag the isRequested and put it into the column legend. All right, let's see what we're working with. Yep, this is what the visual should look like. We're going to do some adjustments, obviously. Okay, let's go straight to general first. And I want to change the title. So it's going to be saying trending vehicle inspections for the title. And then let's modify the visuals a little bit. So switch to the visuals tab and then toggle this on. The one that says zoom slider. So what this does is you let the user be able to toggle the slider up and down. I love that effect. So you can leave this, definitely toggle this on and leave it there. And then go into the columns and where it says series, just check, check on the one that says false. And we're going to change that color to this. Since we're here, might as well do the same thing for true. Going to change that to be a little bit deep blue. And you can go ahead and hit save. And I'm just going to do some adjustments to make it look a little bit better because we need some more room. All right, so I'm back and I think it looks okay like this. Let's go ahead and add the next visualization, which is going to be a matrix. So go ahead and select the matrix. And inside our matrix, we're going to put in, the first thing is going to be our vehicle name. So open the vehicle. And then after popping in the vehicle, let's go to my measures table. And the first thing we're going to be putting in after that is going to be total inspections, then total requests, and then percentage with valid parking requests. Let's see what we're working with. Gonna adjust this a little bit. Then we can go ahead and increase the font size. Just go straight to values and where it says 10, can make it like 12. All right, that looks okay. Let's give this a visual background. I love giving them visual background. So Let's go to General Effects. And these are all aesthetics. You don't have to do all this. All right, so let's move on to the final visual, and that's going to be our table. So select the table. And then for this guy, so the first thing we're going to be putting in for our table is going to be the inspection date. Since we already have a cool format, let's just put that in there. The next thing we're going to be dropping in is going to be a URL request. And then we're going to be dragging in the parking inspection name and then the vehicle name. Let's see what we're working with. Okay, so the inspection date looks okay. The URL request looks wonky. The other ones look okay. Let's fix the URL request. And the easiest way to do that is just open back the visualization, pick it up again. So select the URL request, and then under on categorize, change that to web URL. Once you change that to web URL, just make sure that you have the visualization selected and then go to format visuals, look for the one that says URL icon and then turn that on. So that would turn that into a URL icon. Go ahead and adjust the visual. And I'm going to go ahead and add some effects so that we have some visual border. Let's tweak this a little bit, spread this up. All right, and with this, we are actually done with the visualization. You guys can go ahead and do some more tweaking. But one more thing before we continue is that we need to connect our filters page to the parking review page. And the easiest way to do that is once you're in your filters page, just pick a slicer. And I want you to switch to the view. So switch to view and then click on sync slices. And where you're going to be checking is you're going to be checking this one that says filters. Check the one on the left. Also check the one that says parking review. Once you check that, make sure you uncheck the one on the right. And so it should look like this. So two up top and then one on the left. Do the same thing for the next visual. So just click on it, check left, and uncheck right. The same thing for the other ones. You can go ahead and hit save. All right, at this point, we are ready to do some demo. Let's see how, if our filters, let's adjust this a little bit and see what happens on our pack and review page. So as you can see, the data has reduced. It wasn't 87 before. So that means our filter is actually working. Let's see if we can select a particular Solano, comes out with a Vesper. Let's see what happens. Okay, so Solano had only one total inspection, and that was on 26th of May. And you can go into the parking request just by clicking on the link. Awesome, and it's just going to open the details of the parking inspection. And with this, we are actually done with our Power BI requirements. Feel free to modify. But we've come to the end of the video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.